The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Okay, well, a lot of people are freaking out today about 1:20 in Chicago, 1:20 p.m. What's going on? And we've gotten tons of texts and DMs all day today. And here is what is going on. And you'll be here on Q101. You're going to hear this too. So I want everybody to relax a little bit. It's going to be fine. Here's what's happening. A little bit ago, the national government decided that today was going to be the day they picked for a nationwide test of its emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts. That is today at 1:20 our time here in Chicago. So an alert will be sent to all radio stations, Q101, TV stations, as well as your cell phone. You don't need to do anything. Just ignore it. There's not an emergency. It's a beautiful day, 80 degrees. Kenzie just ran out of the studio. She was so scared of it. She ran out knowing what's coming at 1:20, turning off all devices back in her office back there.
Okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah, good job. You're all done. Everything's off, right? You're fine. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, what's happening, but that's all it is. There's nothing wrong. It's just a test of the emergency broadcast system, and it happens all the time, but it feels like there hasn't been one of these in a while where everything is on your phone and on Q101 and on TV stations. So don't flip away when it happens because everybody's going to be doing it.
It really is an unavoidable sound.
Yeah.
It's going to go ahead and smack you at 1:20.
You want to imitate it again like you did earlier?
I was trying to think of what the purge sounds like.
The purge sound?
Mrrr.
Something like that. It's not.
Mrrr. Is that more boaty? Boat energy? Mrrr.
Oh, like a foghorn?
Like a very foghorn. The purge, yeah.
So it's not the purge. It's not zombies. It's not a nuclear war. It's not a tornado, which we had a lot of this year in Chicago, and those went off. But just relax. It's fine. Now, conspiracy theorists think this is activating something in your bloodstream that the COVID vaccine put in your blood when the government can control you like a puppet.
So the thing is do I think everyone's turning into a zombie at 1:20? No. Will I be outside or on the road at 1:20? No. I refuse. I have to be at my house. I'm just one of those people that it's like, well, I'm not going to be the idiot who gets jumped by a zombie. Everybody told me.
And everybody thought it was going to happen, and you just sat there out there.
I just want to make sure everyone's acting normsies, before I take my walk.
It's like beginning of Dawn of the Dead where everybody's just kind of figuring it out. The ambulance is going, sure. That's not happening today. Just please ignore it for a few seconds, and then we'll move on with regular programming.
Now, on a serious note, with that that emergency alert broadcast system, whatever, I think I said that out of order.
Yeah, the emergency broadcast system.
Yeah. That is going to happen on your phone. It'll pierce through even if your phone's silenced and things like that. Now, there are people out there, especially like in domestic violence situations and stuff, who have a separate phone that someone doesn't know about, like for safety reasons.
Huh.
So just so you know, just because it's off or mute, it's going to make the sound. So whatever you have to do in that situation, I just want to make that clear to people because I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, I'll just have it off then. Or, whatever it is for safety purposes.
Also, I believe, and you may have came up with this when you looked it up, that if you turn your phone off, when you turn it back on, it's going to make the sound as well when you turn it back on.
It either is going to make it anyways, even if it's off, or when you turn it back on, it'll make it. I don't know which one it is, but it's not an avoidable, like, oh, took the battery out.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
Which is what the conspiracy theorists are leaving their phones off all day, allegedly. Hope not, because the Q101 app's right down there. You can listen to the station anywhere you want to go, which is really easy. So that's what's happening at 1:20 today. Be aware of it and accept that it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A little recap of sports.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, if you listen to all the pundits, sports pundits, talking heads, that we won't have a coach come Friday morning if the Bears lose to the Commanders, which is very likely because the Commanders, that's the Washington, D.C. football team, is pretty good this year. And the Bears are not, and they only had a short week to turn around and play them in D.C. And rumors are that Matt Eberflus will get fired if he loses that game, which the Bears have never done.
Eberflus.
In their 100 years of coaching. They call him Flus. So that's the rumor. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think the Bears will fire him after this game, but that's what people are saying. Because there'll be 14 losses in a row and close to a year, we're about 2 or 3 weeks away from the October 24th anniversary of not winning a game for an entire year.
You know what they're calling it?
What are they calling it?
Lucy's 14th, baby.
Is that what the word on the street is?
Big bash.
You starting that hashtag out there? Pretty rough. Listen, we all know it's not all his fault. You can consider blame the coach, fire and bring someone else in. They did that 4 times since Lovie Smith, and nothing has changed. Maybe it's time to look in the mirror. People up top there, taking a look in there and see what the problem may be. Major League Baseball yesterday, wild card, Rangers and Rays. Rangers beat the Rays 4-0. Very, very small crowd at that game.
And depressing for a playoff game.
Twins beat the Blue Jays 3-1, and Twins' first playoff win since 2004.
Great atmosphere there.
D-backs Brewers. Brewers were up 3-0, I believe.
Yes.
And then they lost 6-3.
Whoa.
Yes. Evil Brewers. And the Phillies Marlins, that was a 4-1 by the Phillies. What an electric atmosphere in Philadelphia as I watched that game as my wife being from Philly. Case, the producer, rooting for the Marlins. My wife not too happy with you, by the way. You said that on the air yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Megan. That's too bad.
You might not get any cookies next time your birthday comes around.
Oh, tough call.
Yeah, it's, I haven't been invited over all summer, Brian, even though we live a half mile from each other. So it's not like I'd see your wife anytime soon anyways.
Well, at least it's really off the table now. Now, he is going with the Marlins because of former White Sox Jake Berger, who, by the way, Case looks exactly like Jake Berger. I didn't realize how much till watching the game last night.
Yeah, we got hit up by a lot of people going, is that Case batting 5th for the Marlins right now?
Unbelievable.
I wish. I'd love that. But if you don't know what I look like by the sound of my voice, Q101's Facebook page, we have a photo of Jake Berger up there. It's the same guy.
That's him. That's him.
How funny would it be, though, if you did play for the Marlins and you still wanted to do this job? Like, you were like, oh, my God, I gotta work on the ratings, but I'm in the playoffs.
There's nothing worse than an extra innings game for me. He's like, guys, I got to be up early tomorrow. Come on.
You know, 2023, everybody needs a side hustle.
Exactly. My side hustle's an MLB player.
That's right.
You're like, this was such a better idea when I played for the White Sox.
Chicago Fire tonight, sold out. Soldier Field, 61,000 people for a Chicago Fire game because Lionel Messi is in town. But will he play? That is the question. Lionel Messi will play football tonight, maybe not. We're waiting for him to come through the doors of Soldier Field, crack some beers together and say, I am playing. It was all a scam that I haven't been playing for the last 5 games.
I just want to walk in like, this is my house.
And the thing that Chicago Fire is doing that's awesome, because as we gave away midfield tickets to this, and people were going crazy for this last week, but they're doing something really cool to get this whole crowd that's there. And, people spent more money than usual for Chicago Fire ticket, that they're offering $250 account credit towards new memberships for the 24 season, or a $50 account credit for anyone unable to use the new member credit to all single game ticket buyers who attend the match tonight. And they said, I like how they said this, of which players are able to make an appearance regardless of the pitch. So they're offering that no matter what. If Messi plays tonight, they're giving that.
Playing, right.
And they're doing it often. That's awesome.
What a mess Messi made, eh?
That's right. I can't hit the rim shot over there, Case. Can you hit that for me, please?
I don't know
He
where
doesn't
it
know
is.
where it is.
Come on, you don't know where the rim shot is?
No, I don't see it on here.
We have these screens in the studio. Yeah, we have screens in the studio. I kind of pass the monitor around, and it's in front of Case right now, my monitors.
I always found that verbiage really confusing, because rim shot for me was like when I used the rim to get the basketball in.
Woo,
I was like, I doesn't make that sound.
I thought you were going to say something else, and I'm glad you did. Woo! That was close. Good job in finding the rim shot.
That's not the sound my basketball makes.
Finally, Oregon State's head coach had to apologize for pretending to milk his nipples on the sideline against Utah over the weekend. Now, he did this legitimately to tell his offense to milk the clock. You watch the video, it's not a bad signal. I think I would have known.
The funny thing is he wanted to milk the clock, and they were probably wasted. They did. I guess successful, because they were trying to decipher what he meant when he was like playing with his teats.
Yeah, and as they were doing that, they milked the clock, literally.
Oh, my God.
It's just funny that he had to apologize for this, that he'll never use that call again.
It's not like he used his tongue or something. You know what I mean?
He wasn't going,
touched him. He didn't motorboat himself.
It'd be amazing.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren coming in to give away more tickets to Q101's Twisted Christmas. We'll have a bunch tomorrow. We'll have John Mulaney tickets. All that for you, the great free stuff all morning long. Takeaways from today's show. 312-591-8300. Text in something that stayed in your brain about the show. For example, Joe texted in, Kenzie is so loud she can wake up the dead. And that was you reenacting Paul Revere you wanted to do? And go wake up the town for the British are coming?
I would have been the British are coming person.
If they were all just sitting there in some kind of town meeting back then, who's going to let everybody know in case the British come in the middle of the night? Everybody just stops and looks at you.
I'm like, I've been training for this moment my entire life.
Kenzie made a great point. It was pre-bullhorn.
You had to think about that.
Revere had to make that announcement.
You're welcome.
Kenzie invented the bullhorn with her voice.
That's right.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Innovator.
Hey, it would save America. I'll tell you that much.
All right, takeaway. Double features Mike. Brian loves Zac Efron's abs in the smash hit. Barely Legal, High School Musical, even if Zac was an adult then, which is even more creepy.
It is more creepy if he was an adult back then.
And then Trucker Mike, Case's life story is 4 inches and 1 buffet later.
That's the truth.
Period.
I've lived a good life.
You miss a moment, you miss a lot. Make sure you go to the podcast, the Morning Crew podcast, and the Brian and Kenzie podcast, Q101.com, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.